In the dead of night, when the dreams turn dark, a figure emerges from the shadows, a man whose face haunts our sleep, yet whose laughter lights up convention halls. He is one of the most iconic horror villains of all time, a nightmare made flesh, a demon who haunts our dreams. But behind the burned face and razor claws, a mischievous prankster, a classically trained actor, and a man with stories so wild you would not believe they are real. This is the untold story of Robert Englund. Grab your popcorn and lock your doors, because this ride is about to get spooky, funny, and utterly unforgettable.
Welcome to prime time!
Glendale, California, 1947. A boy is born under the hum of airplane engines. Robert Barton Englund, son of aeronautics engineer who helped craft the Lockheed U-2 spy plane. But this kid was not destined for the skies. At 12, he stumbled into a children's theater program at California State University, landing starring roles as Pinocchio and Aladdin. By 19, he was at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in England, mastering Shakespeare with a flair that would later scare the socks off us all. But here is a rare twist. Before Freddy, Robert auditioned for Star Wars. Yes, that Star Wars. Going for Han Solo. He didn't land it, but get this. He crashed on his buddy Mark Hamill's couch and pushed him to try for Luke Skywalker. Talk about a cosmic connection. That missed shot set the stage for a career that would soon turn nightmares into gold. Now let's rewind to the 1970s. Robert is hustling for roles, living the actor's dream or nightmare, sleeping in his car between auditions. He had his sights set on craving the role of Chef, the wild surfer in the jungle. He prepped like a madman, smearing cigarette ash under his eyes and engine oil through his blonde curls to look rugged. But the part slipped away, too old they say. Dejected, he wandered across the hall and stumbled into a Star Wars audition. 5 minutes, a couple Polaroids, and a stolen Luke Skywalker script later, he was out. But the real kicker? That Apocalypse Now snub led him to V in 1983, where he played Billy, the gentle alien rebel. Little did he know, this meek role was the calm before the storm that would unleash Freddy Krueger on the world. At first, Freddy Krueger was just a script collecting dust in Hollywood. Wes Craven's masterpiece was turned down by every major studio. Too violent, too weird. And when New Line Cinema finally took a chance, the studio wanted a big name. Someone like Mickey Rourke or even David Hasselhoff. Yeah, really. One thing is for sure, they didn't want Robert Englund. 1984 audition room. The air was thick with anticipation as Wes Craven cast his net for Freddy Krueger. Robert walked in, his face a mass of ash and oil from the Apocalypse Now prep work, and just stared at Craven, letting his silence speak. Then Robert did one line in Freddy's voice, and Craven immediately said, "That is him." And so Freddy was born, with Robert enduring 3 hours of makeup daily, his friendly chatter driving the artist nuts. But here's a twist. Englund almost lost the role again when producers saw his makeup test. The first design? Way too scary. Kids would have nightmares for life, so they softened it and accidentally created one of the most fun horror villains ever. During the first film's shoot, Robert got sick of catered slop. He, Johnny Depp, and Nick Corey sneaked across Sunset Boulevard to a Thai joint. In the dim light, Robert's Freddy face glowed under fluorescent light. The waiter dropped his tray, bolted to the kitchen, and vanished, never to be seen again. You would think filming a horror movie would be a serious business. But on the set of Nightmare, Robert Englund was the ultimate prankster. One day, between takes, Englund, still in full Freddy makeup, snuck into the studio cafeteria. He casually sat down next to a terrified secretary, picked up a newspaper, and asked for a salt. She screamed and ran out. The crew could not stop laughing. As Englund would say, "Hey, if you've got the makeup on, you gotta mess with people." But Englund's greatest prank? Convincing a young Johnny Depp, his co-star in Nightmare, that the fake blood in his death scene was real animal blood. Depp was horrified until Englund burst out laughing. Let's jump to a quirky on-set tale. Back in 1978, before Freddy's reign, Robert's roommate conned him into a wild gig. Picture this: Pasadena, garbage bags in hand. Robert scavenging dead leaves for John Carpenter's Halloween. Yep, those creepy autumn vibes? Partly his doing. Fast forward to 2003, Freddy vs. Jason. The climactic fight was a beast to film, with Robert dodging Jason's machete in a muddy lake. He slipped, nearly face-planting, but turned it into a joke. Even Freddy cannot outrun a hockey mask. The crew roared, and that blooper made it into the blooper reel. Horror fans finally got the showdown they have been waiting for. Before Freddy, Robert Englund was just another actor hustling for roles. But his weirdest gig? Playing a bodybuilder opposite to Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's right, Englund was in a pumping iron drama, and he hated the gym. So, how would he get the role? Simple, he lied. Told the director he loved weightlifting, then spent the whole shoot praying no one asked him to bench press. What is the lesson learned? Even Freddy Krueger has his limits. Robert Englund has terrified millions, but there is one role that he couldn't handle. In 1989, he played the Phantom in the horror adaptation of Phantom of the Opera, and it went horribly wrong. The makeup took 4 hours to apply, glue, prosthetics, the real pins holding his face in place. One day, the adhesive melted under the hot lights, and his fake skin started peeling off mid-scene. Englund later called it the most painful experience of my career. But the real nightmare? The director loved the accidental gore and made Englund keep filming as his face literally fell apart. In 2022, Robert stepped into the Stranger Things Season 4 as Victor Creel, a haunted man in psych ward. Filming was delayed by COVID, leaving fans guessing would he appear? He shot his episode in secret, revealing nothing until the premiere. But here is a creepy on-set gem. During a nightmare on Elm Street early days, Robert napped in his tiny trailer, dim lights casting Freddy's face in the mirror. A sudden bang on the door jolted him awake. His own reflection stared back, distorted and terrifying. He laughed it off, but that mirror moment fueled Freddy's eerie vibe. Robert Englund didn't just play Freddy Krueger, he redefined horror. But the real twist? He never wanted to be typecast. He studied Shakespeare, acted in indie films, even directed, yet, no matter what he did, Freddy always come back. In Robert's own words, "I used to fight it. Now, I love that people scream when they see me. It means I did my job. And that, my friends, is how you become a legend." Thank you for watching and don't fall asleep, 'cause Freddy is waiting.